Hey guys, Lex here, back for some more of the Great Ace Attorney. Last time we investigated the crime scene, and today we're gonna go look at Tusspells. Maybe we'll finish the investigation today. Let's go! 22nd of October. Madame Tusspells, Museum of Waxworks. Tusspells or Tusspells? Ah! Oh wait, wax, okay. What is this place? Look at these terrifying scenes! But why are all the people so still? Guillotines, ruthless murderers. I know what I'll be dreaming about tonight.
They're all wax models. They're amazingly realistic, aren't they? What do you think, Bruno? Shocked?
Wax models? I read about dead bodies and wax once in a magazine about strange phenomena. Depending on how corpses are kept after death, parts of them can turn to wax, apparently. It's called adipocere.
Stop talking about creepy things like that, Bruno. You're scaring me. Anyway, adipocere doesn't form readily, no. It's... What now?
I've just remembered something else I read in another magazine about strange phenomena. There was an old lady, maybe a witch, who used to pour molten wax over corpses and put them on display.
None of the exhibits in here are real. They're all entirely man-made replicas.
It can't be. Do you really expect me to believe that? Just look at them.
Oh.
There's no way anybody could make models of people that are this realistic. And they're all such gruesome scenes. Wait.
What is it?
Oh, no. Yeah, I must be seeing things. Alright. Controls is on the right? Okay, let's start left to right then. See if he adds anything to dialogue. Let's click on this. Is this some infamous murderer?
Oh, yes, called Jane the Ripper. All her victims were young women.
I knew it. You can tell by the way she's holding the knife. Sure sign of a murder.
Well, yes. What's the matter, Bruno?
Fork it out. I know what she's doing. She's trying to fill the bathtub with blood so she can have a soak in her victim's gore.
Not according to information about the exhibit on the little board here. It doesn't mention anything about the bathtub.
Really?
Sorry. I don't think it's significant.
Oh. Something has to be there for a reason. Please do not touch the statues. That big heavy curtain is in a very prominent position, isn't it? A nasty feeling there's going to be something truly terrifying behind it.
Oh yes, that's the famous Tusspells special exhibit. It depicts one of England's most notorious killers. Do you want to pay the extra fee and have a look?
Pay more money to be even more terrified? Oh, let me think about that for a moment.
It was only a suggestion.
These models are so well made, I can't tell what's a waxwork and what's a real human.
Or maybe all of the exhibits are real people. And when it's closing time and all the visitors have gone home, they suddenly start moving about.
Ugh, just thinking about it makes me wish it was closing time already and I was on my way home. Oh. Is this an arm?
Looks like an arm, doesn't it? Maybe one of the waxwork models has fallen over.
You don't think it could be the work of one of the mass murderers in here, do you?
Bruno, stop scaring me.
Is it a wax arm or a real one?
Come on, you always point the finger of yours. You're cold. Poke that arm now and see how it feels.
Objection. Yeah, poke it. Is this an example of a Western Sujigiri?
I don't know what that is.
You know, when an unscrupulous samurai randomly attacks a passerby to test his sword?
I still don't know, no. But actually, a Waxworks samurai would probably be hugely popular. Could you model it, do you think, Bruno? Doing that Sugigiri thing you mentioned?
Well, I do have a sword, but I have no intention of testing how sharp it is on a human subject. For now, at least.
Oh, that's a funny place for a little ladder.
Oh, a ladder. Okay.
What is it? Something wrong?
No, it's just that in Japanese, we have a totally different word for a ladder that folds in half like that.
We do in English too, you know. It's a step ladder, or just steps. So be careful on making assumptions about other cultures, Bruno. That's how wars have started.
I didn't realize stepladders were an international point of contention, but the writer makes an astute point. That looks like a stepladder. Looks like a regular ladder. Hard to tell though, it's a weird... Oh, because of... Looks like it's getting cut off, but yeah, it looks like a regular ladder. Anything else? Sholmes. It's... The Great Detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes has his own wax statue in here, really? He wasn't there earlier.
Well, he is world famous after all.
It's an uncanny resemblance, isn't it? It makes my skin crawl to look at it.
I know. But look, Bruno, you could kick this Hurley and he doesn't move a muscle.
You can't go around kicking the exhibits, Iris. Wait. It just moved, I'm sure. And not just a little bit either. No? Really? Did it? You gotta look closely. There are beads of sweat on his face. Of this waxwork model. Shall we move on, Iris? Over there, look. There's a great murder scene to enjoy. Much more appealing.
Hold it!
My dear fellow, I take exception to your recoiling in such a manner, as if you've seen something truly abhorrent. Mr. Sholmes! I knew it. Iris, what possessed you? I strictly forbid you from divulging my temporary waxwork secret to Mr. Naruhodo. Temporary waxwork? What do you mean? That kick, could you not have exercised a little more restraint? You winded me.
But Bruno has something he needs to ask you.
A question.
And I thought you'd probably be getting bored too. So here we are.
Well, can't deny that your timing was impeccable. A mere 2 minutes more being stationary like that. My great brain, upon which all my successes have been built, would have turned to wax. Thank goodness we arrived in time. Indeed, in many ways, the pair of you just saved the world from an unimaginable loss.
Oh, Hurley, you do like to talk nonsense, do you?
You could know something, it's true, about Lord Van Zieks, and what happened in the past to change him. Now that you're here, let's take our time. How can I be of assistance? Or, you're in luck. I'm suddenly quite taken with the idea of conversing. Oh, well, actually, I'm in quite a hurry. And if my eyes don't deceive me, I believe something is afoot within the walls of this very museum. A most fascinating case, if I'm not mistaken. Really? Moreover, I have a strong suspicion that it's related to the matter about which you've come to me now. But how could it be? Why, we shall speak again presently, my dear fellow. Now I must return to my work. What? Back to being a temporary waxwork exhibit? Okay. What? Wait, that's changed. These models are so well made, I can't tell what's a waxwork and what's a real human.
That's how Hurley gets away with making himself temporary exhibits for today.
Maybe there are other people posing as exhibits in here then.
Maybe. All the exhibits are real people. And when it's closing time and all the visitors have gone home, they suddenly start moving about.
Just thinking about it makes me wish it was closing time already and I was on my way home. What? Why is that different then? Is different? No. I swear I read that. Am I going crazy? Okay. Is there anything important to present? Actually, I'd rather talk to him first. Madam Tusspells. What is this place? Madam Tusspells came to London from France. It Tusspells? I'll say Tusspells. Madam Tusspells came to London from France 3 years ago, I understand. Since she opened this little waxwork museum last year, it's enjoyed great popularity in London. There are museums like this in Japan too, but these displays are something else. I mean, they aren't made from actual real people, are they? The extreme realism of these waxwork models is a peculiar secret of the Tusspells family, they say. They earned renown during the French Revolution for waxworks of victims of the guillotine. Oh, that sounds grim. The gruesome scenes were portrayed with such realism in the expressions of the faces of the condemned.
Apparently, the sculptures would make the models directly from the corpses right there at the site of the execution.
That really turns my stomach. It's just one of several legends about the Tusspells family. Whether there's any truth in it, I couldn't say. But anyway, this museum houses models of famous people from all over the globe. Nevertheless, the most popular area of the museum by quite some margin is this House of Horrors. A house of horrors? Of course, visitor numbers are dwindling now as a result of the Great Exhibition. But people usually flock here to see the exhibits of some of London's most vile criminals at their gruesome work. Naturally, most of the miscreants portrayed here was sent to the gallows. But they're even stiffer now than the models of them. Have you ever heard of poor taste? My dear fellow, the public live for poor taste. They yearn to be shocked. So the hideous exhibits in here are...
They're all portrayals of real events that actually took place.
Is it just me or did the temperature in here just seem to drop? Anyway, I advise you not to think too deeply about what you see here. Oh, he's back to being a waxwork, is he? What do you mean by temporary waxwork, Mr. Sholmes? Exactly what you see. I'm part of the exhibits here, catching these criminals in the act. Catching them? Every half an hour, I home in on a different killer via displays and adopt a new pose to ensnare him. When members of the public come for a closer look, I offer them my hand to shake. For a shilling, I'll happily allow them to take a photograph with us. Us? Does he mean him and the waxwork murderers in here? But why, Mr. Sholmes? My dear fellow, isn't it obvious? For the money. He really roared at me there. Very fitting for the House of Horrors. As it stands, I may struggle to pay this month's rent. I have the ravenous iris to consider.
Early, so hungry.
Push comes to shove. I shall have to ask you to do your bit, Mr. Naruhodo. See, you're threatening to rope me into now. So, with that in mind, how about a photograph? As a special treat, you may have your pick of murderers and scoundrels in here. Choice is yours. Maybe some other time. Remember, Mr. Hardo, ignore me at your peril. Back to being a waxwork again. Is it just me, or did his final remark there sound like a curse? Well, what is it you'd like to ask me then? Actually, it's about Lord Van Zeeks. Ah, a friend, Mr. Reaper. How did you find him? Well, I trust. So I filled Mr. Sholmes in about everything I'd learned. About Lord Van Zeeks, about Professor Harebreen, about the strange coincidence that they have been at the university together. So I'm wondering what it was that happened to make Lord Van Zeeks such a different person.
Sir, you would know, Hurley.
You said there was something going on here in this exhibit hall before, that something was afoot, and that you believed it was related to what I wanted to ask you about. Mr. Sholmes? He suddenly clammed up. Well, it seems we've reached an unavoidable greetings. Oh, it's definitely Tusspells though. Hello? Where did she appear from? And what's she wearing? Does she look any more mysterious?
I hope you are appreciating my museum.
Sorry, have we... Mr. Sholmes, do you know this? Not again.
My apologies. I am Esmeralda Tusspells. This is my museum of waxwork.
Oh, what, you're the Madame Tusspells?
And sir, though only 26 years young, I might add.
That's significant somehow?
I'm a madam and name only. It adds a certain je ne sais quoi.
Right.
Firstly, I must apologize for my waxworks. Or rather, one waxwork in particular.
I'll be Mr. Sholmes then.
I'd like to believe he was a great detective, but he seems unable to settle. Next time when you move from your designated exhibit, will be toil and trouble. I'm totally serious.
That's a problem. How am I supposed to ask Mr. Sholmes about Lord Van Zeeks now?
Let's not forget what Hurley said before. About something being afoot right here in the museum, I mean.
Yes, I know, but...
I'm curious. I want to know what's happening here.
Have we got enough on our plate already? Oh, click on him again. It's not even blinking now. He really is a perfect model of waxwork.
No, it doesn't always seem like it, but Hurley's quite a perfectionist, in fact. Practices at night sometimes instead of sleeping. Not blinking, I mean.
Well, practice makes perfect, I suppose.
Just realized, though, seeing him stand over there now, it looks like he's a murderer's accomplice, doesn't he? Or henchman, even.
That's news to someone by the look of it. Does anything change with her being here now? Let's converse then. The Waxworks. You make all these waxworks, Madame Tusspells?
I'm a third generation of waxwork artisans, you know. Gosh! It's my grandmother who began the tradition in my family. Our fortunes were checkered, living through the turbulent times of the French Revolution she did. So that is when she acquired the savoir-faire that leads to the astonishing lifelikeliness. All these waxworks really do look as though they're alive. In fact, they look more alive than Hurley. You see, exhibited here represents the most atrocious of London's criminal past. All the waxworks were created in the presence of the real people on which they were modelled, and the hours immediately following their executions. That is the secret of their extraordinary lifelikeness.
That sounds terrifying.
All walks of life have similar challenges, I'm sure. To carry out one's trade per excellence, one must go to extraordinary lengths. My exhibits are a reflection of society. I create only that which the public wishes to see.
Why couldn't the public have wished for something less horrifying?
Not fair.
Sorry?
This room is the only one in the museum with such a macabre theme. I do hope you'll explore. There are models of famous singers, actors, politicians, something for every taste, I hope.
It was Iris who dragged me straight in here. Come to think of it.
Sorry, perhaps I should have eased you into things.
Yeah. What's with the situation with that?
Ah, my temporary waxwork model. He approached me some days ago, you see. A business proposal.
Oh, what sort of proposal? My dear madam, what these sparse exhibits need is the addition of a world-famous great detective.
Or words to that effect.
Ah,
Naturally, I am well aware that Mr. Sholmes is widely known in London as a talented detective.
it's a great detective, actually. He's very specific about it.
Yes, the creme de la creme. Was keen to come to some arrangement with him, of course. Sadly, we were unable to agree terms.
Let me guess, someone wanted to charge an exorbitant price for his services. For a mere £500, I will dive into your cauldron of wax this very moment.
Or words to that effect.
Mr. Sholmes might have overdone it slightly with the sales pitch.
Regrettably, the museum has a shortage of funds at the moment due to unforeseen circumstances. So we came to the current arrangement instead.
Well, he doesn't really need to do what he's doing, though, does he?
I would think not, but he was very insistent.
I have a 50-shilling problem that must be resolved by this morning.
Oh, words to that effect. It's the pawnbroker, that's what it is. Must have something to redeem.
The consulting detective work not going so well. I wonder, could I ask you something?
Bien, sir.
I'm just curious, is anything going on in the museum at the moment? Some kind of incident, perhaps?
Whoever suggested such a thing to you?
Oh, well, it was your temporary waxwork over there who mentioned it to me a little. Oh, he disappeared. This model is a work of art, not some tawdry object for trade. Ah! There you are.
The exhibit again where you should be working. Do you wish to be melted down?
My dear Madame Tusspells, save your reprimands. There are more pressing concerns. Wax can wait. It's our ideas about your current problem we must throw into the melting pot instead. Personally, I would advise you not to involve the police.
Why ever not?
Turn as white as a sheet. Because you have at your disposal a great detective whose services you may employ for a mere 50 shillings. But please be aware that I prefer, or insist upon, payment in advance.
Very well. Let's see if the great detective is able to live up to his name, shall we?
Before engaging my analytical process, I must ask you to clarify something. What, pray, is behind the curtain?
That is Tusspells special exhibit. There's an extra charge to see it.
Ah, the special exhibit in the House of Horrors. Must depict a special killer then, I presume. Would you be so kind as to draw back the curtain, I wonder?
Ah, absolument no. There's nothing amiss behind there.
Nothing amiss, madame. I should probably give her a French accent. Can't do one right now. What about the arm protruding ominously from under the curtain?
Ah,
I strongly encourage you to allow me to see what lies beyond before the situation worsens.
yes, very well. We'll draw back the curtains, but only a soupçon.
Number 139. I must confess I peeked behind the curtain earlier. The Tusspells special exhibit is a very bleak graveyard scene indeed. Yet somewhat surprisingly, the waxwork killer one would expect is nowhere to be seen. What does strike one now, however? Hey, isn't that the guy, one of the jurors? It's the portly gentleman lying peacefully on his back on the floor. Well then perhaps, Mr. Sholmes, that man on the floor is the ruthless killer himself? I'm afraid not, my dear fellow. He's a perfectly ordinary London gentleman, not even a waxwork, in fact. What? Skillfully made as these waxworks are, they are always distinguishable from real humans. So allow me to present my two conclusions. The first is that a sizable business transaction has been taking place in this special exhibit.
Why? Why would you say that?
And the second is that aforementioned transaction is linked to a serious crime.
Ah,
It looks as pale as a candle wax.
I don't understand.
So, Madame Tusspells, as you've agreed to my fee, you shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective and temporary exhibit at work. Oh yeah, Great Deduction. Waxworks, fate. To begin with, we must ask ourselves what exactly is afoot here in this museum. Answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes protruding so helpfully from your bag. In my estimation, some £200.
That is all my own money.
So what does a large sum of money reveal? Ah, not as much as the involuntary glance you cast. It would seem, Madame Tusspells. Yes, the answer lies where your eyes now fall. The significance of the £200 is revealed by that public notice. Waxwork for sale. Your business has hit hard times, it would seem. In short, you sold the infamous killer the centerpiece of your special exhibit for the sum of £200.
No.
Now, let us explore the next curiosity with which we are presented. Was the portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? It would appear the man has suffered a severe shock, cause of which is clearly known to you.
Ah,
Unfortunately, madam, keeping secrets does not appear to be your forte. Dealt the man such a shocking blow was, of course, the £200. It would appear that you twisted this gentleman around your little finger most effectively.
what are you suggesting?
Was that her hand? You rashly agreed to purchase the waxwork for the sum of £200. only when he came to hand the money over did it occur to him what an extortionate amount he was paying. But the money was no longer in his hands. And the result, the scene we see before us, collapsed in shock. Yes, the killer in this special exhibit fetched a killer price. You can only pray that the gentleman's dreams are not plagued with regret. Sold for cash. Waxwork location. The question that arises then, what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let us consider the problem for a moment.
You cannot possibly.
What immediately strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who's this fellow? To find the answer, he'd only observe his neckerchief. Such is worn by policemen as a secret sign to fellow members of the force that a crime's being perpetrated. Yes, this young man is an undercover policeman currently investigating this museum. I know him well, in fact. It's Sergeant John Clay.
What are you talking about?
The man's quite a celebrity. He received triple accolades at last year's policing awards.
What?
Next we turn our attention to the old man sat before him, with a particularly unsightly visage. I'm watching closely, and he hasn't moved almost in fact, as if he were a waxwork.
Oh, but you...
The reaction only confirms my suspicions, madam. Notice at once, of course. Observe. Telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is a waxwork is the obvious price tag. Threepence? A tragically low price, I must say. Or perhaps the going rate for aging waxworks riddled with cracks. And yet you sold it to the portly gentleman for an exorbitant £200. The sort of plucky behavior that's sure to attract the attention of Scotland Yard. Is that so, madam?
I do not.
Yes, the waxwork you sold has already been seized by the police and remains under custody as we speak. The old man must be reunited with his grave in the special exhibit, and not a moment too soon. I have no idea what this is about. Discovered already. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' Great Deduction of this horrifying puzzle. What was the point of this? I see I've stunned you all into silence.
Valley, you have. And you've obviously upset this young lady in the process. Her cauldron looks awfully hot.
If I could just bring up one point, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, the notorious Naruhodo. 1 point. I'm all ears, my dear fellow. According to your deduction, the special exhibit featured this old policeman. That would mean that he's the particularly ruthless murderer, wouldn't it? The killer policeman, Otomo. Sorry? It was a mysterious series of murders that rattled the capital only last year. Police rushed to the scene every time, only to find the culprit had disappeared into the ether.
It turned out the culprit was a policeman himself, senior officer by the name of Otomo.
So you mean that's who the sinister-looking old man is there supposed to be? Indeed. It is a particularly grim face, is it not? Unforgettable, in fact. Yes, I remember the odious countenance only too well. But is £200 a lot of money for a wax model? It would be enough to afford one of the latest steam carriages, if that puts things into perspective. So it is quite a lot then.
Is there anything else you wish to add before I melt you down?
Bubbling wax is looking more and more ominous.
Smell of all that molten wax is starting to worry me.
Mr. Sholmes did more or less just accuse her to her face, so I think I might have to call on your assistance here, Iris, if that's alright. Make some minor corrections to the Great Detective's Great Deductions.
Of course it's alright. We'll soon set things straight.
Well then, let's get started then, shall we? Before Madame Tusspells vents her anger. Just what I was waiting to hear, my dear fellow. So, Madame Tusspells, in accordance with our agreement, you shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective in temporary exhibit at work. Yeah, course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Waxwork Fate, sold for cash. To begin with, we must ask ourselves what exactly is afoot here in this museum. The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes protruding so helpfully from your back. In my estimation, some £200.
That is my own money.
So what does this large sum of money reveal? Ah, not much, as the involuntarily glance you cast would seem, Madame Tusspells. Yes, the answer lies where your eyes now fall. The significance of the £200 is revealed by that public notice. She definitely looked in this direction, it's true.
I'm not sure she'd sell any of her waxworks even for £200.
Oh,
Must pour her heart and soul into making them, don't you think? Over and above the wax. Or me, wouldn't sell them for anything.
for that much money I would, but it sounds like that makes me a bad person. Well, anyway, I wonder if £200 could have some other significance.
Let's follow the furtive glance again to see if there's anything else that could explain it.
Yeah. Go to the wall. See what this says.
What's that note doing pinned up on the wall there?
Oh yes, let's see. Dear Madame Tusspells, taken the prisoner from this room. The price for his safe return is £200. Have the money ready by noon on the 23rd of October.
What?
This is just like the sort of thing left behind when someone is kidnapped.
Yes, it's a ransom note.
Exactly. Obviously.
Take that!
The significance of the £200 is revealed by that ransom note. Quite so, and we must congratulate these criminals on their inventiveness. Abducting a waxwork.
Oh,
£200 is no small ransom fee, yet you clearly intend to pay it.
the model in question has special importance, so I put together all the money I have.
In summary then, the £200 you have in your handbag is ransom money. Now, let us explore the next curiosity with which we are presented. Who is this portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? It would appear that the man suffered a severe shock, the cause of which is clearly known to you. Fortunately, madam, keeping secrets does not appear to be your forte. What dealt the man a shocking blow was, of course, the £200. The waxwork was kidnapped. Where does that leave us in terms of who this man is?
You could just ask him when he comes around.
I think the point of this exercise is to understand the beauty of the deduction process, Iris.
Yes, you're right. Hurley's trying so hard. We mustn't let him down.
Well, there's little doubt that he suffered a shock. That much is clear. But in that case, what Madame Tusspells is trying to hide here, let's have a closer look around. Oh yeah, I forgot. See, there's this hand. I saw that earlier.
This is just Madame Tusspells' right hand, isn't it?
Yes, it must be. You can clearly see her left hand after all.
Oh, but wait a minute. There's a left hand as well, look.
Don't say such creepy things, Iris, please.
And it seems very stiff too. In fact, it's really hard.
You mean
It's made of wax.
what was the question again? Whatever.
Take that!
Oh. What dealt the man such a striking blow was, of course, the waxwork hand. Indeed, with a solid waxwork limb, one could deliver a very substantial blow.
What could you?
The hand protruding from the bottom of your cape. It ought to be the right hand, but closer inspection reveals that, in fact, it's the left hand.
Ah,
Somewhat masculine as well. In other words, it does not belong to you, madam. It is the hand of a waxwork model.
yeah.
Oh,
Some of the visitors to my museum can be troublesome. They meddle with exhibits and cause damage.
so you mean that arm?
Yes, this gentleman saw fit to try to remove it as a souvenir.
No small keepsake. Like taking a whole branch of a cherry tree when you go to view the blossoms.
Afraid I had to teach the man a lesson.
You confronted the man and tried to take the arm back. And the result, the scene we see before us, was knocked unconscious. A point we may need to revisit later, but for the time being, we have our conclusion. Yes, the killer in this special exhibit has been kidnapped. Solved. Waxwork location discovered already. Question that arises then is, what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let us consider that problem for a moment.
You cannot possibly.
What immediately strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing there. Who is this fellow? To find an answer, you need only observe his neckerchief. According to Mr. Sholmes, the yellow neckerchief is a sign to the other policemen that some crime is underway.
I have communicated with the colleagues without revealing their identity, yes. Secret that's closely guarded by Scotland Yard.
That Mr. Sholmes didn't hesitate to give away.
Well, uncovering secrets isn't any true detective's nature, of course.
Right, anyway, judging from Madame Tusspells' reaction to Mr. Sholmes' deduction, I think perhaps we might not have identified the man quite correctly. Oh. What the? The man has a stub sticking out of his shoulder where his arm should be.
Oh, well, that settles that then.
Right, this isn't a real person at all.
Entire arm's been ripped off from shoulder down.
His arm spin, of course. That ties in what we just found out.
Take that!
Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only observe his shoulder stub. No such boneless human walks this earth. Of that, I can assure you. In other words, the man standing over here, the young Sergeant John Clay, is in fact defying all odds, a waxwork model. I seem to remember it was you who concluded that it was a real person in the first place, Mr. Shaw. Okay, cross me out.
Has been quite a celebrity in London, being the winner of no less than 3 policing awards last year. Simply had to make a model of the man.
Naturally. What other explanation could that be? And it was this detective's arm that was pulled off by the man in the floor of the exhibit, wasn't it? Next, we turn our attention to the old man sat before him, with a particularly unsightly visage. I have been watching closely and he hasn't moved a muscle. Almost, in fact, as if he were waxwork.
Ah, but you...
Your reaction only confirms my suspicions, madam. Notice it at once, of course. Observe. Telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is a waxwork is the obvious price tag. Killer policeman called Ottermole, was it? Is he well known?
It's all over the papers last year. I can't say I know what he looks like. Very low price though. The threepence isn't much money.
Enough for a few measly hours of gas in Mr. Girdup's delightful lodgings, in fact. This is the special killer taken from the special exhibit, is it? The waxwork that somebody stole from the museum and tried to ransom for 200 pounds? Is this crusty old killer policeman Ottermole, really?
Perhaps we should have a good look around again and see if another idea crops up.
He has a twitch! Look at this. The old man's stabbing his foot like crazy.
Seems to be fast asleep though.
He's not tapping his foot consciously then? So you mean...
Must be a twitch.
Never mind that. The one that's Waxworks don't tap their feet.
Or twitch.
And look at his arm too. We've seen a scarf like that somewhere else around here, haven't we? Yeah, the sleepy guy's wife. I forgot her name already.
Take that!
Telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is a waxwork. It's the obvious twitch. Even the most realistic waxworks do not exhibit a twitch. In other words, the splendid old man is in fact a genuine member of Scotland Yard. Slight shift in your choice of adjectives then. And there you have it. Well, Madame Tusspells.
Well, what? It was me who contacted the police and demanded that someone come in the first place.
He is clearly fatigued. He is sound asleep. But then, what's this tag showing? A price of 3 pence. Note out the price tag of the muffler, which the old Bobby purchased recently at a local market. I presume you have observed the scarf tied around his arm. Does that not strike you, Mr. Naruto? Yes, the secret sign used by detectives to show some criminal activity is currently underway.
Of course, because, as you know, there has been just such criminal activity happening here. You deduced from the very beginning, Detective.
So, it would seem that we finally arrive at the truth. The waxwork of the especially ruthless killer from the special exhibit has been kidnapped. Scotland Yard are already investigating. But the model's whereabouts remain a mystery. Thus concludes Sherlock Sholmes' Great Deduction of this horrifying puzzle. Still a mystery. But what does this have to do with anything? Section complete. Elementary.
Sorts of people visit my museum here. Men and women, young and old. Sometimes they drop in just for a short time on the way back from the pub. I welcome them all. But if anyone tries to damage my exhibits, I do not take it lightly. Wait. The Great Deduction was even more enchanting than I had been led to believe.
It was a pleasure, my dear madam. I am gratified that you enjoyed the spectacle. As for your rough customer, I have no doubt he'll regain consciousness shortly and return home. What concerns me more is the waxwork from the special display. If it was indeed genuinely abducted.
Yes, tragically, it was.
And I would ask you to recount to us the events surrounding the stolen waxwork. In as much detail as possible, if you please.
Very well. But after I've told you what I know, I must insist that you return to your work.
The talents of a great detective could be put to better use, I feel, but as you wish. Tell us more about the stolen waxwork, please.
Some days ago now, when I came in here one morning, I immediately noticed that a waxwork was missing from the special exhibit here. It is your most prominent display, so that's why the curtains were closed. I found the ransom note in its place.
The culprit must have broken in during the night and taken it then.
This waxwork was stolen. It's a model of some horrible criminal, I suppose.
Oh, was it the victim's twin brother?
A particularly horrible criminal, in fact. The killer left more profound scar on society than any other, I would say. The Professor.
Not a name I've heard of. So, Mr. Naruto, it seems the circle is complete. Sorry?
The Professor case happened around the time I was born, didn't it?
Indeed it did, Iris. 10 years ago, a series of murders that rocked the capital. 10 years ago? Yes, at exactly the time that Barak von Zieks graduated from university, in fact. What? Surely he's not saying.
So the big event that changed Mr. Reaper's life.
As you've surmised, was the Professor case. Who was this Professor then? Professor.
It's a series of gruesome murders that had all of London gripped in terror a decade ago. The 5 victims were killed, the man was arrested and put to death.
And now he's immortalized here in wax for all Londoners to admire and enjoy. Though of course, he happens to be absent at present on account of the abduction. But I don't understand. How is this all related to Lord Van Zieks? You must first understand, my dear fellow, why it is that the Professor earned such infamy. It was due to the victims he chose, some of Whitehall's finest.
What do you mean, Hurley?
Those murdered by the Professor were some of the highest members of British aristocracy, members of nobility, even royalty. It sent shockwaves through the country's administration. Members of the... Ah, wait, of course. What Professor Harebrained said. Lord Van Zieks is from a family with noble blood.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. It was the 5th victim that led to the Professor's arrest. The last of the killer's prey was a young noble by the name of Clint Van Zieks. No, don't believe it. Van Zieks? That's the picture, the portrait? Sure, you could piece together the rest for yourself. In the wake of his older brother's murder, the young Barak pursued a career as a prosecutor. Eventually became the Reaper we know today. I had no idea Lord Van Zieks had such a tragic past. Well, I'm afraid that's all I could say on the matter. For the time being, at least. After all, I have work to do. As a waxwork exhibit.
I'm afraid I shall have to excuse myself as well.
Oh yes, of course. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Well, none of predicted scenarios I've been analyzing involved you coming to visit me here. It's been too long, it really has. I'm delighted to see you, Barak. It's been 10 years, and here we are, meeting in prison of all places. I can't forgive myself for what happened to Mr. Asman. Just can't. I still can't believe it could happen. Tomorrow, court will decide. Yes, I have a young Eastern man acting for my defense. He seems reliable enough, though. It was an accident, a terrible accident. He assures me he can prove it. I must warn you. Oh, I know. I've heard it already. You going to be prosecuting, aren't you? Yes. Since I returned to England, I've heard lots of stories. Baroque, are you really? What? Never mind. I know you have my best interest in heart. My friend is on trial. I won't entrust it to anybody else. Of course, I fully understand. Thank you, Baroque. Until tomorrow, then. I'll see you in court. Oh, I trust us. I really like this whole investigation. It might be my favorite one so far. I'm gonna end the episode here, and then next time we're gonna start the trial, hopefully. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. See ya. Bye.